that with authority? Well, I'm calling our meeting to order. Good afternoon and welcome to Muskegon Rotary. My name is Tim Arter, and I have the pleasure of serving you as your president this year. Today's program will be a presentation from our district governor, our own Brianna Scott. And we will begin with a Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a reflection by Cynthia Maynard. And then a reminder that we recite the four-way test at the end of the meeting.
Consultations, information sharing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, want to bring to the club's attention that Myrna Olson's husband passed away yesterday, and I don't know any of the details, but I wanted to bring it to your attention, and I would appreciate, we're going to do a moment of silence in his memory and for his family. Thank you. And now for, is Cynthia here? Okay, come forward. I'm sorry, I didn't spot you. Beautiful dress, I should have.
Okay, my reflection is on what if. I grew up with an older sister who was the smart, pretty, and talented one. So I developed an I can't attitude. At 21, I decided, what if? What's the worst that can happen? So I joined the JCs, and suddenly more doors opened to me, and life was so much more fulfilling and fun. I didn't want to go to Juneteenth because I thought it was in downtown Muskegon Heights. And as kids, we were told to lock our doors when we drove through there. But Marcia Hoovey said it was in Rowan Park. So I went and was really surprised by the acts of love I saw there and the compassion and patience people had for each other, even when the food and the water ran out. I thought doing flags meant running the whole way down Seaway Drive, but I was pleasantly surprised that it's just a section of Seaway and it takes less than an hour. The microforest has taught me new plant skills, and even picking up garbage on the highway is a treasure hunt. You never know what you're going to find. So every time you think, I can't, stop. Remember, what if? What's the worst that can happen? You might be pleasantly surprised.
Well done. So at this time, I'm sorry, you now can get back to your lunch and enjoy. We'll be ringing the bell in a little bit to proceed with our business portion of the meeting. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like the members who have guests and visiting Rotarians come forward for their introductions, if you would, please. Again, members with guests or visiting Rotarians, if you would come forward. Rem is going to be able to provide you with a mic.
Sounds good. Middle pink one. Hello, Melissa Buffner here, and I have Jonathan Scowen. He's actually part of the mission and a potential Rotarian, so first time here.
Hello, I'm Rob Taylor, and my guest today is Jason Smith, and he is a member of a Rotaract club in Holland, and I'm going to let him talk a little bit about that because it's a little different than our Rotaracts here that are associated with colleges. His club is not associated with the colleges, so it's more of a community club.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Yeah, so as Rob mentioned, I'm Jason Smith. I'm actually the treasurer of the Lakeshore United Rotaract Club. We're pretty new. We formed in 2021 and steadily growing since. So I think what makes us a little bit different from the normal Rotary clubs is that we really embrace cultural differences. So trying to bridge the socioeconomic gaps in the local communities. So our group is very diverse, so we're really focused on that. So that's really kind of the difference with us, and we're a little bit of a younger group as well. So if there's anybody in the Holland market or even on the Lakeshore that'd be interested in joining us, please reach out to myself. I'm more than happy to pass along contact information, but really excited to keep that growing and also become a member here with the Muskegon Rotary Club.
Hi everyone, Kendra Robinson here. I have with me one of my favorite sons in the whole wide world. I can say it because he's my only one. This is Khalil Robinson. He is a 7th grader going into the new middle school here in Muskegon. And a little bit about him, he is a goalie for the Junior Lumberjacks. He just made travel this year. Woo. I wish he was something other than a goalie, but he loves to fish and he loves helping us on our barbecue trailer. So he's interested in doing Rotary as a middle schooler, but there's not one there. So I'm hopeful that maybe this year, maybe I can be one of those sponsors or something for middle school, and when we can get started in Muskegon Middle. Thank you.
Well, that's great. We're bringing them up young, so congratulations. And I'm not sure I would be standing in front of a hockey goal, but anyway. Okay, it's time for me to announce our speaker today. Our district governor, really recently installed, is with us today. I'll give you her bio. She's an attorney and entrepreneur. She was born and raised in Muskegon, Michigan. Was a graduate of Mona Shores High School. Received her BA from Michigan State University. She received her Juris Doctorate from Wayne State University. No, I guess. After graduating from law school, Brianna was hired as the first African-American assistant prosecutor in the Muskegon County Prosecutor's Office. And in 2005, she opened her own law firm, Brianna T. Scott and Associates, here in Muskegon, in downtown Muskegon, by the way. She, in 2018, Brianna was the top university vote getter for an 8-year term on the Michigan State University Board of Trustees and has performed well. So, one more, Green? Go Green, okay. And if you read her full bio, it's very, very impressive. She's received many awards over her illustrious career, and she has served on many prominent boards and commissions. In Brianna's Rotary life, she became in 2014, became the first person of color to serve as president of our Muskegon Rotary Club, where she served during the course of her membership at that time as the co-chair of the DEI Committee, Membership and Engagement and Retention Committee, the Community Service Projects Committee, and the Life Leadership Committee. Today, Brianna is here as the recently installed District 6290 District of Rotary International for the year 2024. Muskegon Rotary members and guests, please rise and welcome home our District Governor, Brianna Scott.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Tim, for the introduction. Come on back up here, Tim. We got to activate our magical wands because we're going to create magic this year, right? All right. Okay, we're ready. quirky, but you'll hear why in a moment. So it is indeed a pleasure to be here. I had to start off my district governor speaking circuit in my home club. This is the club that I was initiated in. This is the club that I love. This is home. I look out and I see so many familiar faces, and I just want to thank you all for coming to hear me today. It is indeed an honor and a privilege. So, Rotarians, for those of you who have experienced Rotary in action, we know that the magic of Rotary was given to the world back in 1905 by a man that we call Paul Harris. Our new Rotary International president, Dr. Stephanie Urchick, she was inspired to create this year's theme while she was on a water project mission in the Caribbean. What she told us was a story about going to the Caribbean to install wells. She shared that the village that they went to did not have any running water, that the children had to walk miles to get water. And I think we hear familiar stories from countries in Africa and even South America about this. And I think sometimes we take those things for granted. As they built the well, what she told us is that the children all gathered around, and when they started it and saw the water, 2 young boys came up to her and said, "Oh my God, it's magic." And hence the theme for the Rotary year, the magic of Rotary was born. Dr. Stephanie Urchick said, "Don't misunderstand me. We are not going to end polio or bring peace to the world by waving a wand, even though we'll try, or saying any funny or magical words. However, it's up to us as individuals, to create magic with every project completed, every dollar donated, and every new member inducted." As we begin this new Rotary year, I'm filled with an overwhelming sense of anticipation and excitement. This year, you all, we have the opportunity to create magic, not just for ourselves, but for the communities that we serve, the lives we touch, and for the world at large. Rotary's always been about more than service. It's about making a difference. It's about the indelible mark that each of us can leave on this world. And as a district governor, I am challenging each and every one of you in this room to embrace that spirit of possibility, to unleash your creativity and to ignite the flames of change. This year, we in District 6290 will create magic. If I poll this club, and I actually heard someone today, Aaron, who said why he joined Rotary, but I know that it would become evident that many of us joined Rotary for different reasons. For some of you in this room, you became members because you wanted to grow your professional resumes. You wanted to find mentors and others that could help you grow in your professional goals. Others, you may have joined because you liked people that you knew that were members of Rotary, and you wanted to know other leaders in the area and expand your social circles. And then others of you here in this room may have been intrigued by the work that you saw Rotarians doing here in Muskegon County, the community and beyond, and you wanted to be a part of the movement that makes a difference. Lastly, there may be some that joined because they were asked or told to by the companies or organizations that they represent. You don't have to raise your hand, but we know you're in here. But what we all have in common is at some point in time after our climatic Rotary inductions, receiving our coveted Rotary pins and the right hand of fellowship, we were each introduced to some committee, some chairperson, a club president, or an event that aroused something within us, that inspired us and created a desire for us to serve. As you sit here, ask yourselves, what was that for you? For me, it started when I was a young girl with parents who instilled in me, to whom much is given, much is required. I learned early on the importance of giving back. Every Sunday for my high school years, from 9 a.m. till 12, I candy striped at what was then called Muskegon General Hospital. I started off not because I wanted to, but because my dad told me I had to. He said I had to give back. But by the time I graduated, I learned that it was such a gift to me to have been able to serve and to help people that needed me. My father, himself a Rotarian, lived his life as a servant leader, with Rotary providing him an outlet to work with local youth in our community, to do projects within the community, and to be something larger than himself. So when I became a Rotarian over 18 years ago, it was a dream come true. I too had an opportunity now to serve with like-minded individuals who cared about making our community and our world a better place. And my favorite Rotary moment, you may be asking, what is that? Back in around 2016, many of you in this room may recall Kathy Moore and I co-chairing what was then called the Community Service Projects Committee. At that time, our club was fresh off of a survey that found broke Rotarians like me saying, I cannot give money, but I can give up my time. I can give up my talents. Are there things that we can do to impact our community? At the time also, we had in our club the outgoing director for Habitat for Humanity. They had identified a disabled veteran and his family who qualified for a home. However, the agency was going through a lot of management changes and organizational changes, and they didn't have enough volunteers to assist to complete the home in the time frame that needed to be done. So who stepped up to the plate? Muskegon Rotarians. This endeavor was not merely about constructing walls and roofs. It was about building hope, dignity, and a brighter future for a family in need. As we gathered on the first days, armed with tools and enthusiasm, and at that time, good backs and good knees, we embarked on a journey that would touch our hearts, touch our backs and our knees, and forever change us. Together in shifts, week after week, we laid foundations, raised walls, and put our hearts in every nail and beam secured. The sense of camaraderie in this club at that time was palpable. We worked side by side, sharing stories, laughter, and occasionally a challenge, all while knowing that each swing of the hammer brought us closer to our goal of providing a safe and stable home for a family in need. I'd like to ask those of you that worked on that project that year to stand. Wouldn't you all agree that the true reward from working on that project, all of that physical labor, came not from the work itself, but witnessing the impact of our efforts? I think most of us would never forget the moment when the new homeowners saw the finished product, seeing their faces light up with joy, the gratitude, and perhaps a hint of disbelief that these people who knew nothing about building a house actually did it. For them, the home represented more than just a place to live. It was a sanctuary where they could build their dreams, memories, and lay a foundation for a brighter future. It was a symbol of hope, resilience, and unwavering support of a community of Rotarians and others that came together to make a difference. As Rotarians, we understand that service is at the heart of everything that we do. Building that Habitat for Humanity home was not only a rewarding experience, but also a testament to the power of the collective action and the profound impact that we all have when we unite for a common purpose. Now, as many of you have already heard, Rotary International created the strategic plan called the action plan. It was up here earlier. I forgot I'm on screen. Mike Vogus told me this. Rotary International created the action plan. Our organization's call to action to work together to build a stronger future. And I'd like to take a moment, Mike, if you will, to play a short video to tell you more about it.
We are people of action.
And when there's a challenge to confront, people of action come together and make a plan.
Even as we continue to help address global challenges, we're facing one of our own. When Rotary surveyed people around the world, we found a big gap between who we are as an organization today and who we need and want to be.
Our foundation is strong, but Rotary is ready to show that we can grow and become even stronger.
So we established our new action plan as a roadmap for how we can think differently, be more inclusive, and become a stronger, more effective Rotary.
The plan has 4 priorities. We're going to increase our impact, because now more than ever, the world needs innovative planning and proved solutions. We'll be more data-driven, not just serving communities and doing good works, but measuring what we do so we can scale up our successes. And share more compelling stories about the good we do.
We will expand our reach by welcoming new people into Rotary and finding new ways to connect with people who share our commitment to making our communities and ourselves better. We'll enhance participant engagement by making sure everyone who connects with us gets even more out of their experiences than they put in.
And we'll increase our ability to adapt, because staying ahead of change while staying true to who we are is exactly how we make sure we have the staying power it takes to lead a new century of change.
Rotary's action plan is ambitious, but we can do it.
If we work together on new ways to think, plan, and take action, we will bring our communities and our organization to new heights.
Our legacy is in the making. Ready to do your part?
Let's show the world what it means to be people of action.
So looking back, I can see how building that Habitat for Humanity home hit on many of these priorities in so many ways, and how using it as a guide will benefit our clubs. Even before we knew about the action plan, that Habitat for Humanity home allowed us to increase our impact. How many of us drive down Lincoln Avenue and look at that house with a sense of pride today? How many people drove past that house as we were building it and saw the Rotary signs, all of us in our shirts saying that we were people of action? Well, that helped us to expand our reach, and it enhanced participant engagement. I know people were sick and tired of us passing around the list at every meeting because we had to have the sign-up list completed in order to fulfill the time slots to do the projects that were needed to be done on that home, to get it done in record time. But we did it. And I think many of us that worked on that home are better for it. And we increased our ability to adapt because, quite frankly, I had to adapt to doing physical labor. I had never known how to lift a floor joist or lock in linoleum tiles. I mean, I learned how to do so many things on that project. But more than that, we learned that we can do things differently than what we've done before in this club. We don't have to keep doing the same things over. We challenged ourselves. And we were successful. The action plan is about making our organization stronger so that our values will last for years to come. It's about using effective tactics to strengthen the organization at all levels. It's about ensuring that every person who engages with us has a meaningful, valuable, and fulfilling experience. It's about changing more lives and communities for the better. So how are we going to do this? This Rotary year, as the district governor, I am going to organize the district-wide visioning session. Okay, so that is something that, quite frankly, I'm shocked that the district has not done, but super excited that we're finally going to do it. We have been without a strategic plan, I think, Kathy, you told me, since 2019, which means we don't have anything that's guiding us, right? We need to have everything laid out, our goals, so that we can go back and look and make sure we're meeting certain metrics. And without a visioning session, we have no plan. And so the leadership is going to be getting together to create one that we will follow in the coming years. The second priority for the district is to create a comprehensive and strategic membership recruitment, development, and retention plan. Why? Because every single club in this district, and quite frankly throughout North America, is struggling with membership. We have highs and lows. We bring members in, but we have those that are coming out. And what we're talking about here is netting a number. At our International Assembly, Dr. Stephanie Urchek, our current Rotary president, gave each of the district governors a challenge of increasing our district membership by a net 100. That sounds really easy to say, but it's difficult to do. And without a strategic plan to help our clubs, Continuing to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is not going to yield that result, right? So in creating this plan, we are going to be engaged in coming up with something that across our district will provide the assistance, the needs, the resources that our clubs need in order to help with the issue of attrition. And my third priority for the district is increasing Rotary Foundation giving in each of our clubs. In particular, in this club. Okay, so cat's out of the bag. If you all didn't know, this club has not met every Rotarian every year. I don't know if you ever have, if we ever have. But I guarantee this year, we're going to do it. But we're not going to just do it because we need to, but we're going to lead by example because we are the largest club in the district. We also lead the district in providing students to go to our Life Leadership Conference. We also lead our district with the number of Interact clubs that we have. So I want to lead our club in this very strategic area. And DEI will be a cross-cutting element greatly considered in our district for the first time ever in every decision that we make. And the reason why is if we are not inclusive, if we do not create a welcoming environment, then there won't be a sense of belonging, and we're going to continue to lose members. We have to embrace people that are different from us. It is going to make our clubs and our district stronger. The district-wide priorities will assist the clubs in meeting the club goals. I've outlined for each of our 53 clubs across Michigan and Canada. So Muskegon Rotary, are you ready for what your challenge is this year? And I know Tim's going to create magic. Muskegon Rotary is going to increase this club's membership by a net 6, meaning we are at 244. We will get at 250, a net 6, and we're gonna stay there, okay? That's my goal for this club. How do we do that? Because I think actually that's a low ambition for this club. I think we can do beyond that, but that's the minimum of what I'm asking. And it's quite easy if you think about it, because we can tell stories. Stories remain at the priority of Rotary. We tell the world about the work that we do, and we have to be proud and willing to brag and talk about the accomplishments, the projects, all of the great things that our clubs are doing. By telling our story, we attract members. And one of the most recognizable symbols and the greatest piece of advertisement that we as Rotarians have is your Rotary pin. How many of you are guilty of not wearing your Rotary pin every day? I'm going to raise my hand. How many of you are guilty of not even wearing your Rotary pin to Rotary Club meetings? I'm going to raise my hand. Guilty. Okay, well, while not wearing our pins does provide some revenue for the club, right? When you get dinged for not wearing your pin, it is really falling short of being able to advertise Rotary, because when you wear that pin, you get questions. What's Rotary? I recall when my mom and I went to Zone and we got stopped at the toll booth, cars behind us, and the guy was asking us all kinds of questions. And when we finally said, well, we're headed to Rotary, he wanted to talk all about it. That's what happens. And I felt bad for the people behind us because we told him all about what Rotarians do all over the world. And he was inspired and was probably going to join the closest club that he had to him. But that's what happens when you tell people about all of the great things that we're doing, they get excited. Tell our stories, wear our pins. And the other thing that you can do, all of you all out here have some kind of social media, right? Right? X, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. All of us have a reach to our friends, family, colleagues, all across the world through our social media accounts. What I'm asking you all to do is when the club is doing projects and when we are posting things on the club webpage, share it. Share it on your personal pages so that your friends, people that may have never heard of Rotary, can see what the Muskegon Rotary Club is doing. That's going to bring people here. That's going to cause people to ask questions. Invite a friend, a family member, or a colleague to attend Rotary at least one time this year. How many of you can commit to doing that? Okay, everybody that didn't raise your hand, stand up. We're gonna do the walk of shame. Just kidding. That is a simple thing we can do. Kendra just brought her son. He may be a future interactor, and from Interact, maybe Rotaract, and then into Rotary. It's very easy when you're at work, tell a colleague, come have lunch with me. Who doesn't want a free lunch, right? And Rotaract. The Rotaract-Rotary relationship is one that needs to be nurtured in order to increase our transitions from Rotary to Rotaract to Rotary. It's been realized that Rotaract is really Rotary. We all know that now, right? Rotary clubs are Rotaract as well. So we need to look at them. We need to look at Interact and Early Act as our pipelines into Rotary. And one of my goals this year is to try to bring Rotaractors, interactors closer to the family of Rotary, because so often in our district conferences, our district training assemblies, our foundation galas, it's all us oldies. We want to get our youth excited about Rotary. And most youth want to do something. They want to be a part of something. We have a lot that we can learn from one another. As Rotarians, we can bring the dollars, we can bring the connections, but as Rotaractors and interactors, they're going to help us to see things in a different perspective. They're going to help us to expand our reach. My second challenge to the Muskegon Rotary Club is to increase our foundation giving. The foundation remains the engine through which our global humanitarian work is done, and its importance can't be underestimated. It is vitally important that we support the Rotary Foundation. We must widen our perspective and realize that we are contributing in our own way to the success of Rotary International. Our work, along with our partners and governments across the world in global eradication of polio, is nothing short of amazing. But we don't stop there. We're helping in the Ukraine. We're helping in countries in Africa. We're doing things in South America, all over the world. And that work can't continue without the support of the Rotary Foundation. Now, I want to congratulate this club for achieving the highest annual fund giving for this club last Rotary year. So congratulations. The amount that you all raised was $13,955 with total contributions of $18,605. That's pretty impressive. But what isn't? Guess how many people donated to get to that amount? Somebody take a wild guess. I wish it was 100. 48 people out of a club of 242 contributed to the annual fund. Ouch. We can do better than that, Muskegon. We lead this district, as I said, in so many ways, and by God, we are going to lead the district in our every Rotarian every year during my governor year, right? We can do this. This is the challenge. How many of you understand what every Rotarian every year is? So there are many that don't. So that's a challenge, Tim, right there. Making sure that you understand what the annual fund is, what every Rotarian every year is. Every Rotarian every year, many people think means I got to give $100 to Rotary. How many people think that that's what it is, or thought that that's what it was? That's not what it is. Every Rotarian every year means you gave something to the annual fund. Whether it's $5, $25, or $100, I believe that this club can have every individual give something. And for those of you that can do more, this is my challenge. For $8.33 a month, you can contribute $100. $8.33, folks, that's not a lot, is it? Right? It's the cost of coffee, the cost of my fingernails. I mean, we spend that without blinking, right? $8.33 a year. We can do this. So I'm challenging each of you. If you can't do the $8.33 a month, do something this year. Help Tim to be successful, to break Jenny's record, okay? All right, we're gonna do it. And lastly, my third challenge for the Muskegon Rotary Club is to increase the number of club members engaging in the broader world of Rotary. And why do I say this? Because too often, when I have attended Rotary District conferences, or I've attended the training summits, or the foundation galas, or even the international convention that was just held in fabulous Singapore, I wish more of you had come, I'm always the only one, or there's a couple people from our club. I think at the last district conference, we may have had about 10 people. Is that about right, from the Muskegon Rotary Club? And it was just at Double J. It wasn't very far away. We need to understand that Rotary is so much bigger than Muskegon. Rotary International is international. And I'll tell you right now, I have friends all over the world. In fact, when my district governor year is over, I'm going to Madrid, Spain for a week to hang out with my district governor of Madrid, Spain, who I become very good friends with. When my mom and I were in Florida at the International Assembly, we got invited to Zimbabwe and Rwanda to come and visit with people that are doing great things in the countries that they are from. I got a lot of what I wanted to do and my inspiration from district governors that are over in India. These are people that are just like us. It's so exciting to meet them. How many of you all have been to an international convention? Raise your hands. Would you agree with me it's the experience of a lifetime? Clap your hands. How many of you have attended a district conference? Would you agree that you got something out of it, getting to know your fellow district Rotarians, learning more? Hand clap for district conference. How many of you have ever attended a district training assembly? Did you learn something? Was it valuable? Do you want to be a Rotary Club president one day? Do you want to be a... Jim Fisher says no. Well, we wouldn't ask you again anyway, Jim Fisher. Been there, done that. But do you want to be a chair of a committee? Do you want to be on the board? How are you going to learn what Rotary is about and how to do these things without attending the things that teach you? These summits, the galas, the conferences, they are all training grounds for the future leaders of Rotary. And you're not going to have much of an excuse not to attend, and I'm going to tell you why. Because as your district governor, I have decided to change things a little bit in our district, and for the first time ever in District 6290, we will not have our district conference in the spring. Typically, it would be held in April or May. We are going to have it in October. And guess where it's going to be? Muskegon! At the Van Dyke Mortgage Center, right? Close. You don't even have to get a hotel, right? You can just come on in as long as you don't wear your pajamas and be ready to go, right? So you have less cost because it's here. But not only that, we're combining it this year for the very first time in our district by having a three event conference weekend. So on Friday, we're going to have the Foundation Gala, which is going to be a party, y'all. You don't want to miss it. On Saturday morning, we are going to have the District Training Assembly. That is where you go and they have all of our Rotary leaders from throughout the district come in and they hold classes to teach various things that are of interest to people in our district. And Saturday afternoon, Susan Crane's working on a phenomenal community service project that is going to impact right here in Muskegon. And then Saturday night, we're going to shake our tail feathers and we are going to party in our district conference. Going into Saturday evening, we're going to have fun. And then into Sunday, I'll have you all out by 12 noon. Okay? This is in October 18th through 20th, if I've got my dates correct. Here in Muskegon, mark your calendars. I would love to see all of you all attending the district conference. So in the coming year, let us in District 6290 strive to display the magic of Rotary in everything we do. Let us look for opportunities to innovate, to collaborate, and also to inspire. Whether it's through our service projects that I know you all are going to be getting engaged in after meeting with the board this afternoon and hearing the exciting things that you've got going, or collaborating with other clubs, as I hear that you may also be doing in this club, you're going to be able to inspire. I would like you to think about your fundraising efforts, all of your advocacy work. Make sure that when we are looking at what we're going to do in this club, that we are engaged in strategically aligning it with our action plan, again, which is the guide, so that what we do is sustainable and something that we can make ourselves accountable to making sure that we're reaching the objectives. But let us also remember the magic of Rotary isn't just about those moments. It's really about the small gestures, the everyday acts of kindness, and the power that we have to transform lives. It's about the smile that we share with a stranger, a hand we extend to someone in need, and the words of encouragement that we offer to friends. Each of us can harness the magic of Rotary, not because of our titles or our positions, but because of our commitment to service and our dedication to making our community and the world a better place. So let us embrace it and share the magic of Rotary in every corner of Muskegon County and the world. Thank you.
She'll take some questions.
Hello, hi. Carla Flanders here, and
Hey,
that was
Carla.
really good presentation. I'm kind of newer on things here, so you learned a lot through what you said, but I actually have two comments. One, we're ramping up social media, so to what you said, myself and Nick Green are going to be posting more on social media, so if there's certain things that you'd like to see on there, please reach out to him or myself, and we're happy to do that. This is the first week of doing it, and we are posting every single day this week, so make sure you look at that. And you were one of the
Great.
posts this week's too. So.
Oh, great.
Two, I want to make sure everybody has a wonderful time at that event on the 18th, 19th, and 20th, but I also want you all to put in your calendar, which Dave's going to talk about in a minute, October 24th, which is the Thursday after that. You guys got to party, rally again, and then go to the Harvest Fest event on the 24th of October. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Carla. Any questions or comments? Dave? Okay, well, you do. That's one of the things I learned about inclusion.
I know.
There are people that can't hear and they don't want to
Understand
say
that.
it. All right.
But I do have a big mouth, okay?
We know that.
I'm gonna confess that. I did PETS, which is training for presidents-elect in Kalamazoo. An amazing, amazing experience. As I told Jenny when I came back, I drank the Kool-Aid. So I have, as it relates to what's going on in this Rotary International Beyond This club. Tell us, when I was there, we are rock stars.
We are.
When we are. So just describe to us why we are impressing. So give us a positive send-off as to what we are doing that impresses the people around the district so much.
Did I mention the district newsletter? Okay, let me talk about it. So I was in Toronto for what is called Action Zone. Action Zone is where all of the leaders from various clubs are sent to be trained by Rotary International directors and other high-ranking members of Rotary International. At Action Zone, they have one of the sessions that talks about the importance of public image in order to reach other people. So increasing our impact, as I talked about with the action plan. And to my surprise, while we're at Action Zone, somebody talks about the Muskegon Rotary Club's newsletter. And I'm like, Muskegon Rotary Club, our newsletter is known throughout Rotary International. Even when I went to Orlando, there was someone that had talked to another district governor from a different zone about our newsletter that has asked for links to our district newsletter because they want to copy it. So number one, kudos to our club regarding that. Yes. Who just had a birthday, I think. Yeah. So we're doing very well in that area. The other thing, like I said, is that this club is energized. I remember Jim Fisher and I, at some point, there was the retention and engagement committee that we had because we learned 10 years ago that we've got to do something different to keep our members. And I think that this club, through your orientation and the things that you do in order to make sure that any new Rotarians understand exactly what Rotary is about, and also giving them that right hand of fellowship, not just when they come in, but aligning them with people that will assist them in finding out the committees that work for them, making sure that we are getting them engaged in projects that you're doing. I think Muskegon does a really good job with that. And I do think that's why our membership is as high as it is. I mean, people want to know what the secret sauce is here. Other than having, really vigorous and zealous people like Jim Fishers and Orville Crane back in the day that would bring in multiple members, we're really good about making sure people are engaged. Fellowship. Muskegon does a very good job with the social, what do we call it? The social function committee. I think Tim Lipan is over that. That's a huge part of Rotary that a lot of clubs don't have. People want to do more than just work together or have lunch together. They really want to be able to involve their families in the things that they're doing and to have fun. And we know we like to drink. We know we like to party. And having this social committee allows that. And that's something that I've talked about that I know other clubs are looking. Some clubs struggle because they don't have enough members, but they are looking, even in the capacity that they're able to try to make sure that they're doing something socially more often, because that increases engagement and it helps to build those relationships. We're doing really great with that. We're also doing great projects here in Muskegon. I think about all of the things that, someone was talking earlier during the introspection about attending, I think it was the community mixer that was in Rowan Park. Things like that create impact. Juneteenth, collaborating with the city of Muskegon Heights, those things create impact. And it does not go unnoticed. I am extremely proud of the Muskegon Club. And between us, I feel like it's the best club in the district. Now, I can't go around saying that, but it is to me because we're doing so many things right. But we also got to work on some things that can make us better. So those are just a few examples, Dave. Jim? Oh, sorry.
Brianna, first of all, what an inspiration. I should say that. But one of your points was you want to increase engagement and retention. Can you speak on how we can get involved in that? I know as a millennial, I personally have been here for a few years, I think 3-4 years, and I have 5 Rotarians that have joined because I invited them to join, right?
Good for you. Sorry.
I would
Good
love
for
to.
you. Woo.
Yeah. So I love that goal and I want to be part of that. Can you share how one of us would be able to participate in that?
Yes. So the actual visioning session that we're going to have is going to involve Rotary leadership. But when we get to the recruitment and the engagement and all of that, we have a chair. I don't know, has Kirk Dornbush been to this club yet? Yes. Okay. So Kirk Dornbush is the chair of membership for the district. He is phenomenal. has a lot of energy. He and I are going to be working closely together. And now that I know that we have someone who is a millennial from this club interested, we're going to be inviting different people because it can't just be old people like me. We need different perspectives throughout the district, right? And so I will make sure that you are part of that session. That will occur after our visioning. And so I'm assuming with our visioning being in August, I think that would probably happen sometime in September that we'll try to get together. So I will reach out to you to do that. Yeah.
Brianna, first of all,
Hold on, Jim. Shoot me an email because I'll say I'll reach out and then life happens. Okay, thank you.
first of all, congratulations. You inspired me at your induction and you inspired me today and have always done so. But what I want to talk about is every Rotarian every year. And at your induction, you not only put Muskegon on the spot today, but you put Muskegon on the spot at your induction.
I did.
And let me say that it is time for us to step it up. And I think what you did today is laid out the simplicity of us doing that because it is a minimum contribution, not $100 every year for every Rotarian. If 48 people contributed last year, we probably have close to double that in the room today. I have made a commitment to President Tim, and I'll make the commitment to you, that I intend to take a leadership role with that this year to work together as a club to make sure that we all do our part. And let me say that I ask each of you to just think about what you want to do. Maybe it's $5, maybe it's $100, maybe it's $1,000. But for many, many years, we have not been able to get district grants because we have not qualified through this program.
Right.
And my commitment to our club and to you is we'll do it this year.
Woo! I love it. And you get a wand. All right, Jim. Love it. I see Dave Alexander doing this, and I talk a lot, so I will shut up and I will turn it back over to Tim.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jim.
Isn't she a delight? If she only had more energy. Well, Brianna, as a token of our appreciation, we are handing out honorariums this year. It's a new organization. Presidents generally change it as they come forward. This year, it's a banner. I can't talk. We don't have enough time to talk about it, but we will soon. Shelter Box is a partner with Rotary International, and they walk hand in hand with Rotary International and disaster relief locations side by side. You can see on the banner that they're identified as a partner of Rotary International for disaster relief. So thank you that we're providing that honorarium on your behalf, Brianna, today. And I wanted to mention that I'm wearing a different tie. The tie I came in is on the table. Brianna provided me with a tie, the magic of Rotary. Pardon? It's not just any tie. I was going to mention it's the magic of Rotary tie. So we're wearing that today. So on to, let's see, we've got I'm sorry. I printed on 2 pages. I shouldn't have done, duplexed it. So I'm at a loss here. So we have the honorarium. And then as far as, would you pull up the birthday slide? Okay, before I get started on this, I'm not exaggerating, the last 3 months or so, I've had at least a dozen, maybe 20 people have come up to me and said, so Tim, are we going to sing this year? Okay, so we're going to basically take a straw vote today, and not by voting, but by singing. So prepare your voices here in a moment. So on the birthday side, you see Lisa Hagenbart, July the 11th, Kathy Hegedus, I saw her out there. July the 12th, Ken Johnson, July 15th, and Karen Hayslip, July the 17th. So if you would, please, let's sing Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Well, the straw poll vote won, so we'll get a little bit more enthusiasm. Well, I didn't tell this part of it. I was in the fraternity at Albion College, and they participated in a Greek week. I don't know if they still do that, but they had a song fest in Greek week where each of the fraternities had their members serve as a choir. And so I showed up when it was time to practice, and one of my fellow brothers, I won't name him, you might know him, but he said, Arter, you, and he mentioned two other people, you can be up on the stage, but you just have to mouth the words. So that's, so thank you for that. As far as announcements, I'll try and make it quick. I want to thank John Noling for organizing and participating with his wife Sue in placing American flags on the Seaway Drive on July the 4th. Other participants in placing the flags were Rotarians Carm Calkins and Cynthia Maynard, who mentioned it earlier, plus Carm's friends and Muskegon High School interactor Tobias Melton. So thank you for that. Another thing is I received a phone call just as I was heading out this morning from John Noling. He's had his operation. He's doing well. And he's on the Zoom. If anybody, let's give him a round of applause. He's on Zoom. I don't think John and I will say anything out of order, but I said, so how you feeling? He says, great. He says, but I'm, on some pain medication. I'll tell you tomorrow. So he asked me to make an announcement about the Microforest. They're going to be meeting at the Microforest every Monday from 8:30 to 10:30. This coming one is really important. They are going to be spreading out some more cardboard and mulch and other things to cover up the areas that aren't covered because the weeds are beginning to move into our area as a result of that. So the forest is growing fast. Come and see it. As I mentioned, they need help on Monday, and bring a friend. Let's see, gloves and tools will be provided. And if you wish to show up or have questions, get a hold of John, but you don't necessarily have to do that, just show up. On Saturday, July the 13th, the Rewind Club will be picking up trash along its stretch of I-96. Esther Rico had to leave early, but you can contact Esther for more details and to volunteer. There will be no Rewind meetings the month of July. It just so happens that the third Thursday in July is Bike Week, and they thought there might be a little bit competition for that. The Muskegon Rising episode number 27, it will be the Muskegon City Public Art Initiative with Judy Hayner. If you don't know anything about that particular program, you need to listen to that podcast because it's an amazing project that has taken place. At this time, I will have Dave Alexander come up if you won't. Ginny and I were, the president of the Grand Rapids Club encouraged the large clubs, us, Traverse City, and Grand Rapids, to get together on a quarterly basis for leadership. And as I have to give a shout out to Sean Shira. He arranged that. One of the outgrowths was to do some cooperative efforts, and Dave's going to talk about something that we've pulled together in the last month, but I won't give you any further information other than that.
Brianna, you teed this up nicely for me. Dave Alexander, president-elect now. Is that what I am? Ouch. The collaboration aspect and working towards service are two things that we can put together. So save the date, Saturday, August 17th this year. The two clubs, Grand Rapids and Muskegon, will be doing a joint service project here in Muskegon, and then we will be doing fellowships. So we're going to combine it all. So the two clubs will gather, and we'll start out at 9 o'clock, 9 in the morning, Saturday, August 17th. Our service project will be with the Boys and Girls Club. We're going to take the city's volunteer trailer of equipment, and we're going to do outside work for them at the waterfront and around the exterior of the Boys and Girls Club's facility on Western Avenue at Division. We will then be going together with all of us for a social engagement at the Deck. Obviously, our wildly successful beach bar at Pierre Marquette. That'll be from noon to 1:30. Hors d'oeuvres will be provided, light fare. You can have dinner, lunch there at the time, cash bar. And this is family friendly. We want you to bring your significant others. We want you to bring your children and grandchildren of any age. There are playground facilities right next to each one of those locations. And when you get to the beach, obviously you got sun, you got sand, hopefully sun, sand and water, but then you also have got the tour of the Silver Sides. You've got the walk out to the pier heads. You've got a lighthouse tour, a lot to do. So come together with the Grand Rapids Club. Mark your date on that is the 17th of August. Hope to see you there.
Thank you. It's worth pointing out that Dave is heading that up, and I think it's going to be a great program. You had a quick announcement, Roger?
Thank you, President Tim. I gotta get used to saying that. So planning for the second annual Harvest Fest, as Carla mentioned earlier, that was not a plan, well, kind of was. Scheduled for October 24th, so mark your calendar right after our district conference in downtown Muskegon. We're looking for a few more Rotarians to join our sponsorship committee to solicit for donations to this event. We'll provide you with all the information needed to make the ask. See myself, Dave Alexander, or Carla Flanders if you'd like to help. And if you already know that you or your company wants to be a sponsor, you can sign up directly at our club website, muskegonrotary.org, under the calendar events tab, then click on Harvest Fest. Thank you to Mike Vogus for getting that information up there. Also, tickets will be available later this month to purchase online. Keep an eye on the rim and our club website. Tickets are $85, which includes all processing fees. Join us for a great event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roger. Then moving on, Josh Silvas, are you in the house with the raffles? Oh, Eric Seifert, I'm sorry. Eric? Mm-hmm. One eight four. Well, we have it over here, Walter. $173. $172. Is that a double winner back there? Okay, I don't know if I've seen that before, but Today's the first. Brianna just came forward and said that there are pins that are on the table. There should be enough for you at your table if you want to take one of those. Next week's program is the Outbound Youth Exchange Students, their farewell. This is the group that's going out, and so you get a chance to hear them. And at this time, please rise to recite the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.